It was a bit of a story of absentees the other night when you were at Cambridge. Has that situation got any better as the illness worked its way through the camp, so to speak?
It hasn't gone through. There's a few feeling a little bit, but I think it's more fatigue, to be honest. Faz is the only one who suffered at the minute. So I know his family had a little bit of illness themselves, maybe flu, whatever it was. So we'll see how he is this morning. Ollie being there now, the physio, which you had having a meeting and what have you. So we'll see how he is. And then the rest, you know, anyway, yourself.
To lose two of your back three, as you did in that game, obviously it's easy to be wise after the event and know what happened in the game. How costly is that, and how important will it be to be able, if you can, to get them back and reunite that defensive unit?
It's important that you get them back, but I think the likes of Seamus stepped in there and done a tremendous job for us. I know we'd lost the game, but in terms of his performance and what he put in, and Donald going to right side, who's played there before, Conor O'Brien coming in, going into win back. So, you know, it was just sort of thrown on us on the day, because we give it as long as possible for Faz to sort of see how he was, and he wasn't, you know, obviously didn't recover and didn't make the game. So, but we have got people to go and play there, but it's not a natural position for Seamus to play. So to have them back for the game coming up against Barrow would be great.
As far as your defensive record is concerned, in home games, there's only one team in the division conceded fewer goals than you. You've conceded 9, and I think Cambridge have conceded 7. How much has that been the foundation for where you are this season, that defensive solidity at home? It's
been fantastic for us. You know, that starts with Ollie in goal as well. You know, he's kept the clean sheets he's kept, and the performances and how he's done it. But collectively as a team, you defend from the front, as they say, and everyone's putting the shift in before it gets into them situations, and to only concede them goals at home is good for the team.
I guess the flip side of that is you're kind of mid-table for goals scored at home. I suppose it follows that if you're not conceding, you don't need to score as many. You've won quite a lot of games by the odd goal. Is that balance something you're still keen to strike? Keep the back door closed and score enough at the other end?
Definitely, Dan. You've got to do that, haven't you? As we said before, I mean, it's about winning games of football. So you try your best, you set up to go and try and do that, whichever way it is. But first and foremost, you've got to keep your back door shut. You've got to keep clean sheets. If you don't, then you know that what the emphasis is. Then you've got to go and score and score again to go and either draw the game or win a game. So it's important that you do get the clean sheets, you do keep the back door shut, but it's also important that when you create the chances that you take them.
You've spoken before about how this division can be very streaky because teams can be inconsistent, players can be inconsistent. You've gone from that 6 games in the league unbeaten, you've gone from scoring in 11 games in a row, I think, in all competition, to losing 2 in a row, to not scoring in 2 in a row. How important is it to sort of keep level-headed and look at the bigger picture and try not to worry too much about that?
I'm not, because as I said to you, it's how you win and how you lose. So you analyse the game. So all the ones that we won and done well in November, if you like, we've reflected on them and got what we got out of them. And the ones that we've just lost now, the 2 on the spin, is Bromley. You know, you've lost to a late goal. Bromley are a good side in terms of how they go about it, how they do it. There's no right and wrong way to play football, and how they go about it and how we go about it. But you know, they try and impose your game on them, which they came here to do that. They're a big, strong, physical side. They play the ball in certain areas and get it wide and just put the ball in your box. And we defended it so well. And then to lose it in the last 89th minute or whatever it was, 1-0. It was 1-0 against Bromley. So to lose that was disappointing, because we'd seen it out and done really, really well. Up to that, it probably had 0-0 on it, and you're thinking, okay. So to switch off maybe in that last moment of the game, not to stop a cross, it was a corner first and foremost, then to come back out and then to come back in, and then just to sort of lose your man, or for that, that loss of focus, if you like, just then was a killer. And then to go to Cambridge and square pegs and round holes in terms of the personnel and what we had to do, and for the lads to put a performance in which I thought was really, really good. Was disappointing to lose that game, but as I said, it's when you've got to, whereas it play the cards that the hand that you dealt, it was difficult, because you're playing lads where they don't normally play, and to get the result that we got was disappointing. But at the same time, then you reflect on the game and how we went about it, and I thought we went about it the right way. We had a couple of chances. I don't think we really threatened that much, but I thought we were well in the game, and they've got a strong record at home. Possibly we could have got a draw out of it, but the end of the day is they've scored 2 goals and we have to be better than defending them.
Bromley aside, with what you've done at home recently for this game against Barrow, how much of a difference would it make to get the first goal as you had been in weeks prior to these last 2 games?
Well, I think that's what we set out to try and do, start on the front foot and start with a tempo. We do that at home, so it'll be rocking here come Boxing Day. The fans will be out, they'll probably bring a few themselves, so it'll be a great atmosphere. And it is important that you try and get the first goal. But if you have a setback, then it's what you do next. So I know that we've had setbacks before in the past, and we've gone on and gone 1 games and 2 games, what have you. So know the challenge ahead. So it's important that we start and we start well.
As far as Barrow are concerned, is it always a slightly strange situation preparing for a team that have changed manager, or in this case have sacked their manager and put a caretaker in place?
Yeah, because you want to see the response out of the team. I think when that happens, I'm not too sure when it happens, but I think maybe it was when he played Cheltenham, where it was the manager's first game, not too sure, or the caretaker manager. So they've lost that one, so they'll want a reaction. They went to Gillingham the game before that was away and got a draw there 2-2. They were getting beat 2-0, I think, if my memory serves me right. So they've come back there. It's a away game. You could say the pressure's off them because the onus is on us at home to try and go and win the game. So as I said, it'll be a tough challenge, a good challenge, and there's no easy games in the league, but we know what to expect.
I think there are 8 games in the league without winning. Do you expect a response and a backlash and them to want to stop that?
Everything, Dan. I expect it all. So it's, as I said, it's a busy period this now, coming up with your Boxing Day, the 29th, and then the first, the 3 games. So we've got 2 good games at home. We've got Barrow, and then we've got Harrogate, and then we've got Notts County. So we're looking forward to the first challenge, which is them. They'll definitely be, and we're expecting a response from them getting beat against Cheltenham midweek. So we know what's coming, and we'll set our stall out.
More than any other time of the year, do you have to look at the bigger picture at this time of year? I know you'll do your work on the first game and that'll be the focus, but is it more in your mind with the schedule you've got, what's coming up in the next week or 2?
Yeah, it is, because you can't look too far ahead, but this is the focus right now. So hopefully we'll get 1 or 2 back, sort of find that out in a bit. And if that's the case, then we know what we've got in terms of the squad, who's fit, who isn't, and then you'd have to go after that game. So you don't know what sort of injury you're going to get after that, who's feeling illness, fatigued, whatever it is, and then you have to obviously go into your next game then, which is Harrogate. But the focus right now is Barrow.
How much is it an opportunity, John? How much is it a chance to really get some momentum going and get some points on the board? Do you have to look at it that way rather than we've got so many games in so many days and that's hard? No,
it's definitely a massive opportunity. We've got 2 home games now. And you never know, you get the 6 points and you never know where it takes you. You're not looking over your shoulder and seeing what everyone else has done. We can only take care of ourselves, influence what we can, and do it right here. And we're good at home. As I said, the fans get behind us. Fans got behind us the other day at Cambridge. I mean, that was a long way and they were superb, the fans the other night, and some of them had got up and gone to work the next day. I know how I felt when I got in at stupid o'clock in the morning. So, it's a great opportunity and we're going to take it.